Hi, this is Bridget. Again, Bridget of Vintage Harbors. For those who don't know Vintage Harbors, we are located at Grand Imperial Hotel, Shop 39. You can also see Vintage Harbors on Facebook, Vintage Harbors on TikTok, Vintage Harbors on YouTube, Vintage Harbors on Instagram. Our social media handles are all there for you to reach us, to get the information that you might need that I have not given in this video. But today, for those that have been following my videos about weight loss, I am here to discuss something more about weight loss. Before I give you information about weight loss when you just after giving birth, weight loss for children, then how your blood group affects your weight loss journey. For those who have not seen those videos, please visit any of our social media platforms, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, WhatsApp. The numbers are here, and you can see those videos to follow. And then you will understand where we're coming from to today. But today I'm here to discuss something more. I am discussing what am I discussing today? I'm trying to pick my mind. What should I give you today? I think I should give you cravings. Many of you have reached out to me trying to understand, because you are on your weight loss journey and you're struggling because your biggest factor is food. By the way, 70% of our weight comes from food. Even when it's a different cause like hormones or whatever, food is a fueling factor to that weight. So a lot of you have been struggling with cravings. You want to lose weight, you're trying out everything else that I shared before, but the cravings just won't let you succeed. And it is a problem. Yeah. Of course, at Vintage Herbals, we have teas that will cool down your cravings so that you don't get those cravings. But today I want to help you deal with those cravings during the weight loss journey. Or even after you've lost weight. Even after you've lost weight, you could follow the same strategies and tips to avoid the cravings. Because once the cravings come back, then you find yourself eating a lot more. And then the weight will come back. So here it is. If you are having very heavy cravings, and they're the ones that are slowing down your weight loss journey, you end up eating too much, then here is how you deal with these cravings. Number one, you need to drink plenty of water. I know you're wondering, if I'm craving, then how does water help? A lot of times, you are thirsty, and then somehow you assume hunger. You can mistake thirst for hunger. So when you feel like eating or you feel hungry, first take water. Take a glass of water and then take a minute, about 15 to 20 minutes, and you see if the craving or the hunger will go down. Especially when you know that your stomach is not empty, you've just eaten about an hour ago or 40 minutes ago. Then you take water to see whether it's the thirst that was giving you that feeling or you're really hungry. So yeah, drinking water is a good strategy. Once you feel like you're craving something strongly or you feel hungry in a way when you know you've just eaten, please take some water. It helps. Secondly, when you're choosing your foods on your plate, put carbohydrates. Put proteins. A lot of us put a lot of carbohydrate foods on our plate. We have cassava, we have rice. This country is blessed with a lot of food, which is carbohydrate. Yeah? So you find your plate has rice, it has Irish, it has spaghetti, it has posho. You go and say, take a. That is wrong. That is wrong. Put more protein than carbohydrate. Because technically your plate should have about 5% carbohydrate, another 15% protein, which can be beans, it can be a piece of chicken, it can be a few eggs, yeah, and then vegetables. So a lot of you have been putting too much carbohydrate on your plate and very little vegetable. You switch. The quantity you've been eating for carbohydrate, replace it with vegetables. and then you have a little carbohydrate because you still need it for energy, and then a little protein. Because if you eat a lot of carbohydrates, the body is stimulated to burn the carbohydrate fast because it's a lot. Now, when they burn the carbohydrates fast, then you become hungry fast, and then you eat more. You crave for more. Yeah. So you see how you end up eating. You end up eating because your body has cut out the carbohydrate so fast. Your body cuts out the carbohydrate, digests the carbohydrate so fast because you ate a lot of it. It wants to get rid of it to prevent an imbalance of blood sugars. Yeah? And yet when you eat proteins, first of all, they feel you better and they stay longer, and then the body doesn't have to cut them fast to make you hungry. So reduce on the carbohydrate intake, increase some protein, and then a lot of vegetables. It will help with your cravings. Also, if your cravings are so strong, stay away from your temptation. If, for example, I crave cake all the time, I don't keep cake in my house because that is really putting me in the line of fire. Yeah. So if you know the things that you usually crave for, do not keep them close. Put them very far from you, so that they don't tempt you to eat them just by looking at them. So if you crave sweets, stop keeping sweets in your bag. If you crave ice cream, don't keep it in your fridge. Because if the craving is too strong and you have to walk from here a kilometer to the supermarket to buy some ice cream, you will say, nah, it's not worth it. And then you will, that's how you jump out of eating the excess. So stay away from the things you crave. Keep them far from you and keep healthier foods near. And when you crave something sweet, replace it with a sweet fruit. If you're craving something salty, eat a healthy salty food. For example, if you're craving a chocolate that is sweet or a sweet, you can eat a fruit instead. It will give you the sweetness that you're craving. You can't eat a salty something to replace the sweet craving. No. Sweet cravings should be satisfied with sweet things, but healthy ones. Instead of eating a sweet, you eat a fruit, which is also sweet. If you're craving salt, say you're craving crisps, you don't have to eat crisps. You can eat a raw mango with salt. That will give you satisfy the same. You can eat a salad, which is salty, because you're craving something salty. You can't eat a fruit where you're craving something salty. No, that won't help your cravings. So if you want to calm down your cravings, do it like that. When you crave something sweet, don't eat the unhealthy sweet. You eat the healthy sweet, like a fruit. If you're craving something salty, you do a healthy salty to replace the craving. Yeah, it will help you. Also, plan your meals in advance. What this means is, if you know what you're going to eat at lunch early enough, then you prepare something healthy. But if you didn't plan and then you start panicking when you're hungry, that's how you end up picking whatever is nearby, the unhealthy foods that will contribute or slow down your weight loss journey. So make sure you plan that tomorrow I'll eat this for breakfast, I'll eat this for lunch, so that you're not thrown into a state of having to panic and pick whatever is nearby. If you're a snack person, carry some fruits. You can throw an apple in your bag. You can keep a fruit box in your car. Yes, so that by the time you're hungry or craving, you have a healthy something nearby. If you don't do that, when the craving comes, you will end up eating something unhealthy because it's the one around. So plan your meals ahead to avoid falling into temptation when the craving starts. Also, avoid staying hungry for so long. You may have noticed, if you're careful enough, that when you're hungry, everything feels inviting. If you don't like lumonde, but you're hungry, at that moment when you're very hungry, even lumonde seems inviting. Yeah? So avoid getting to that state of very, very hungry. Some of you have been fasting you don't want to eat. You take so many hours without eating, and you become so hungry that when you get down to the hunger, to eating, you eat a basin full of food. That is wrong. It will affect your weight loss journey. Yeah? You're safer eating small meals regularly than one big meal. Because when you're very hungry, you will not even have the patience to look for something healthy to eat. You will eat whatever is nearby, which will affect your weight loss journey. Yeah? But you eat so many small meals, snack in between, healthy snacks, instead of not eating for so many hours, and you become very hungry, which will push you to crave everything. Yeah? So please avoid getting very hungry, avoid fasting too much, don't take too many hours of fasting, snack on healthy things. It will help you. Um, Keep a calorie counter. You go to Google, look for a calorie counter. They will show you all the foods we usually eat and their weight in terms of calories. Yeah? So whatever you're going to eat, you first check your calorie counter and you see how many calories that you're going to ingest. Calories come from carbohydrates mostly. Even other foods have calories, but the carbohydrates have the highest calories. These calories are energy. So technically, everyone should eat energy that they use. Because if you don't use that energy, it is stored as fat under your skin. Yeah? So, an adult person that is not on a weight loss journey can eat about 2,000 calories a day. So you get your food and you check the calories. Chapati has 265 calories, tea has 2 calories, sugar has this many calories. You put together your calories and know how many you have taken in during the day. A lot of you eat 5,000 calories. Even 1 million. You eat this, you eat that, you eat this, you eat that. By the time you get down to the end of the day, you've eaten so many calories that are going to be put on your body as fats, and then you become fat and you're struggling to lose weight. A person that is on the weight loss journey should only eat, an adult, averagely 1,200 calories, which means if we normally have 3 meals, the basic ones, one in Uganda. The basic ones are 3 meals, which means you can divide your calories, your 1,200 calories, into 3. 4,000 for breakfast, 400 for breakfast, 400 for lunch, 400 for dinner. Calories. Which means the foods you put on your plate at lunch should only total to 400 calories. That way you will lose weight that is already there and not accumulate an excess. If you don't have excess calories, the body will eat away the fats because it is now using what you had already stored as fats. When you store too much fat, the body does not, when you need energy, the body does not go to what you stored first. It goes to what you have just eaten, which means the backlog is being stored. So what are you being stored in fats that you're not going to use? Yeah? So when you count your calories, you keep a calorie counter, you're able to keep your calories in check. You eat just enough for you to use without storing excess calories. Because once you store the excess, it is stored as fat under your skin, and that is how you end up gaining weight. A lot of you have been doing weight loss things and you don't feel like you're losing. It is because after you have fasted, worked out, I don't know what, you eat 1 million calories. That means you've replaced what you have lost, or even more. You cannot lose weight that way. So please keep a calorie counter. It will show you how many calories each of your foods has, and then it will help you to eat just enough for your body. Yeah, that's enough about calories. Then sleep enough. You may find, especially mothers who are breastfeeding, people who work hard, you find that your cravings are strong. It is because you're not sleeping enough. When you don't sleep enough, you wake up with low energy levels. When your energy levels are low, the body assumes that you need more energy. And then it starts tapping into every fat that it can get. So the body actually starts saving and holding on to fats that it would even have reduced. But because the body has been meant to think that you don't have enough energy, you need more fats, it starts to accumulate, even refuse to let go of what it would have left to go out. So you are taking a weight loss tea, but you're not losing weight because you're not sleeping well. And so the body is refusing to release those fats, thinking that it needs the fats for you to have enough energy. So the solution is to sleep enough. When you sleep enough, you wake up feeling energetic, feeling strong, and the body won't feel the need to accumulate more fats for your energy because the energy is actually already there. You just need to rest. Then avoid restrictive diets. By restrictive diets, a lot of you go on low carbohydrate, zero carbohydrate diets like ketogenic. There are so many diets that can restrict you. Some of you are fasting 24 hours without food, yeah? And when you do those diets, it's okay. The problem is you do them temporarily. If you're going to do such a diet, you have to make it a way of life. You make it a way of life that you do it for the rest of your life. Otherwise, when you stop it, the body will crave everything else that you've been holding off. That's why here at Vintage Herbals, for us, we don't tell you to go keto if you don't want to. No, we give you an eating plan where you work with the foods you have at home, but eat them wisely, for lack of a better word. You eat them wisely in terms of how many times a day or how many times a week or how many times a month, so that you don't accumulate the excess. Otherwise, keeping them off completely will give you cravings, which cravings will be very, very strong, because when you finally get down to eating that thing which you've been holding away, you will eat too much of it, which will bring back all the damage that you've been avoiding. So avoid those restrictive diets. Contact us at Vintage Herbals. We can help you make up a good eating plan that will not restrict your body to those things which will end up giving you very strong cravings. The more you refuse to eat something, the stronger your mind will demand for it. And you end up eating it too much to damage even more than what would have happened if you had eaten a little of it. Yeah? Then you reduce your intake of sugar and sugary foods, artificially sweetened foods, because the more sugar you take, the more the body needs more. So when you take sugar, then the body wants more. And then you increase, and then the body wants more. And then you increase, and then the body wants more. So you create a cycle. If you don't break it, then you're going to keep taking in too many sugars, which will make you fat. Yeah? When you eat sugar, a lot of artificial sugar, you feed a craving for more sugar. So the more you eat, the more you want. So you have to start reducing your sugar intake until you finally go off it, so that that cycle can stop. If you don't reduce your sugar, trust me, your weight won't go down, your stomach won't become flat, because sugar doesn't decompose in your body. So it sits in your colon and your stomach remains big. Until you break that cycle, then you're going to keep accumulating a bigger belly. Talking about the belly, you also need to reduce your belly size. When your belly reduces, the space where you put food, when your belly increases, the space where you put food also increases, which means a big stomach means you eat more food. A small stomach means you eat less food. Yeah. So as you work to reduce your belly, do whatever it takes. Do some exercises, take some belly fat burning things, which we have at Vintage Herbals. Reduce the stomach, because if you don't, it will be big. When it's big, there's a big space for you to fill with food. When you fill it with food, the body becomes bigger, the stomach becomes bigger. As the stomach becomes bigger, the space becomes bigger, you eat more food. So that also becomes a cycle. More food, bigger stomach, bigger space, more food, bigger stomach, bigger space. So work on your belly. Reduce your belly so that you stop craving a lot of food. When you eat little food and you're not satisfied, you start craving things. So one of the ways to reduce those cravings is to reduce the size of your belly so that you don't have too much space. Once you eat, you're satisfied, the body doesn't want anymore. Yeah. Lastly, uh, um, what else? Practice mindful eating. By mindful eating, I mean when you're craving for something, get a piece of paper and write. Do I have, for example, I'm craving a chocolate. So I get a piece of paper, divide it into two, this side and this side. On one side, I ask myself, the question is, do I have to eat this chocolate which I'm craving? Now, I'm feeding my mind with information. All the other tips I've given you are for the body, the stomach, what. But now this is the mind. Because some cravings and a lot of cravings are controlled with the mind. And you cannot just refuse to open your mouth because you're craving. No, once your mind wants, your mind wants. So you need to fine tune your mind not to crave. And this is what I'm going to. This is an exercise that you should practice. Get a piece of paper, write on there. Should I eat this chocolate which I'm craving? On one side, put no. On the other side, put yes. Then, if you answer on the side of no, list all the reasons why you should not eat that chocolate. For example, I ate one this morning and another one yesterday. I'm on the weight loss journey. Yeah, you give yourself all the reasons you can come across in your mind for why you should not eat that chocolate. Under the side of no, then you come to the side of yes and give yourself the reasons why you should eat that chocolate. I last ate a chocolate last month. Yeah, I really need it. If I don't eat it, I will die. Give yourself whatever reason you need under the side of yes. So now you have yes, you have no. Already your mind is looking at the no and it's like, and then look at the yes like, So if the yes answers are more than the no answers, already the mind is starting to believe that no, this is not right. Yeah? If the no answers are more than the yes, the same. Now, let's assume, despite your yes and no, your craving is still there. Because sometimes when you list down those things, by the time you're done listing them, your mind is already starting to reject these cravings. Like, no, I shouldn't eat this chocolate. But a lot of times the craving is still there, despite your yeses and your no's. No, yes, the craving is still there. You go ahead and go to the supermarket and buy a chocolate. Remember, I told you, do not keep your temptations near you. So I'm assuming you guys don't have chocolates in your bag, in your house, because a lot of you come to me for weight loss, but you have soda, you have crisps, you have sweets, you have biscuits, you have chocolates in your handbag, walking around with them, yet you're trying to lose weight. No, don't walk around with your temptation. So with this mindful exercise, I'm assuming you have already thrown away your chocolates. You don't have any in your bag, you don't have any in your house. So you have to walk between home and the supermarket or the shop. You're contemplating on, should I eat the chocolate, should I not? You're informing your mind. Sometimes when you get to the shop, the mind is like, do I really need to buy this chocolate and waste this money? Nah, then you go back. Other times you reach the supermarket, the craving is still there, you buy a chocolate. Do you have to buy the biggest chocolate? No. Buy a small thing. When you're craving something, you eat just a little of it. It will heal the craving. Yeah? You don't have to buy the biggest. The biggest comes from if you are restricting yourself. You have that restrictive diet. You've not been eating chicken. You've not been eating chicken for so long. And then you finally eat chicken. You will eat a full basin of chicken. When you're craving something, it's okay. You eat it. But a small quantity. And remember, I told you to keep a calorie counter. The calorie counters usually give you calories in terms of 100 grams. So if you're going to eat a piece of chicken, which is about 200 grams of chicken, you can't eat a kilogram of chicken. Some people can. A few people can, but 200 grams of chicken is okay once in a while. And a few calories and yeah. So when you go to the supermarket, you're craving a chocolate, don't buy the biggest bar of chocolate. Buy a small one. buy a small one and go and eat it. Slowly, don't eat too fast. Take it in, eat slowly, it helps. Because when you finish it quickly, the mind is not satisfied that you actually ate it. Eat it slowly and enjoy it. As the mind also gets informed that, we've eaten the chocolate, now no more craving. When you're done eating your chocolate, your mouth is happy, your brain is happy, go back to your paper where you wrote down these things. Ask yourself, now, I've eaten the chocolate. What have I gained? List down what you've gained from eating that chocolate. List down what you've lost. If, for example, I've eaten the chocolate, I've added some calories, I've lost some money, which I would have used for more important things. On the side of, yes, my mind is happy, I'm no longer craving, yeah? Keep that aside. Next time you crave a chocolate, do the same. This exercise helps to inform your mind of the advantages and disadvantages of eating this thing. Eventually, the mind rejects. You can convert your cravings into dislikes by the mind. So the mind controls what you crave a lot of times. So if your cravings are triggered psychologically, you can't fight them physically. Simanya, calorie counter, and restricted diets, it won't work. Inform your mind to reject the same thing it's craving by following this exercise that I've just discussed with you. I should stop here today. I'll come back next time with water weight. A lot of you have been wondering about water weight. You drink water and you put on weight, all these things. Water weight will be next, but today I have to end here. For those who want more advice and guidance and very nice weight loss teas and other things, kindly visit us at Vintage Herbals, Shop 39 at Grand Imperial Hotel, or you can contact me on WhatsApp, Facebook, wherever, any of my social media platforms, and we speak, yeah? And or you can visit, come to Vintage Herbals. We're always glad to have you. We're always glad to serve you. Thank you so much for following us. Reach out. I love speaking to you guys. Bye-bye.